We're doing an old school YouTube makeup tutorial today, and I don't know if you can say old school, but this is a makeup look that has been something that we've done, on our channel before. But this specific makeup look is inspired by the Zara Larsson trend because her makeup artist is doing bold colors on her, more like festival looks. So I figured let's go ahead and do one and see how we like it. We're getting back into the color, but first I had to go ahead and shape my hair and then jump into the makeup look. Okay, we're using first the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. I didn't know e.l.f. had one of those, but I found it in the advent calendar and I've been using it. I really like it. Next, we're using the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Universal to just smooth the skin, and you're gonna see what my skin is gonna look like later. I'm using a skin tone, well, it's like maybe a shade lighter than my skin tone concealer on my under eyes and also in my hyperpigmented areas to try to even out my skin tone before I go in with the concealer. You can obviously do this with a color corrector, but some of them are too orange. Next, I'm going in with the Fenty powder. This is the Bright Fix powder in the shade Pumpkin. This is the very orange one, and initially when I tried it, I said I was going to use it as a color correcting powder, which is exactly what I did. Anytime I'm going to do bright eyeshadow looks, I like to line the bottom of my brows with a brow pencil, clean it up with the concealer that is a shade lighter than my skin tone, and then use a brighter, lighter concealer underneath that. Doing it this way allows me to have a bright highlighted brow bone without me using concealers that are too bright for my skin tone, and it prevents me from having floating brows. So the front of my brow is going to be grounded and the tail of it is going to be more highlighted. I've been using the Morphe Solo Artist as my eyeshadow base for a while now, and I really like it because it's an eyeshadow. It dries down and it also holds on to whatever powder or cream you put on top of it very, very well, and it does not crease. So if you haven't yet invested in them, absolutely get it. I'm using my matte eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bay, and this is the Bright Matte eyeshadow palette. It is all matte. Absolutely love it. The color payoff is insane. Now, whenever I was going to do this look, I saw a look on her page done by her makeup artist, and it does have some blues in there, but I wanted to start my base with yellow and green. I didn't want to do a talk through, but I'm doing a talk through. So what I did was I put the yellow close to my brow bone because in her original video, her original makeup look, she has eyeshadow all the way up to her brows, okay? So I put yellow on my brow bone, then put the green in my crease and put the yellow back on my eyelid to help it look more symmetrical. And then I go in with a dark blue color to try to introduce the blue into it because I don't want to just go in with blue. Different skin tones, different intensity, color payoff. I use the blue to create like a dark shadow to the eyes. Next, I'm going in with the House Labs contours. This is the second deeper shade, and I like using this because I can blend it in and I can build it up without fear of making a mistake. If you're as dark as me, you can use this shade or the deepest shade, and it will work out. Then we're using the NARS foundation, the light reflecting foundation. I mixed it up and put a few pumps on the back of my hand, blended it in between everything, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending in my contour using an angled brush. But of course I remembered I needed to lay down my lighter concealer shade, and because I needed to dry down a bit, I put it down before I went in to blend in my contour. Okay, while I'm giving the concealer a few seconds to dry down, I'm gonna go ahead and blend my contour in because I need to make sure that that's done before we can put the concealer over so everything can look beautiful and seamless together. With the contour blended in, let's go back in and do the concealer. I'm using one of those Real Techniques kitten foot brushes to blend in the concealer, and then I'm gonna go over everything with a blending sponge because the blending sponge will push everything in and help it look beautiful and seamless into the skin. Next, we're going in with our About Face setting powder. We're going to set all over the places where we put our concealer. I like to just use a smaller brush to apply this. Most of the times I would also use a a blending sponge. Next, we're going over it with the Huda Beauty pressed powder. I don't necessarily need to use this specific shade because it is very brightening, but I used this because it was the deepest shade that I had. I've already picked up the deepest shade and we're going to do a review on it. Next, for all over my face, I'm going in with the Benign Colorless Powder, and I'm using a brow. It's actually not a brow, it's a mascara. I'm putting mascara on my brows. Because I know my hair is going to come down, I didn't really bother too much with the tops of my brows. I went ahead and used my deep blue shade to create kind of sort of like a sad eye effect. I don't know. I really like what it looks like. For the lower lash line, I just applied the green closest to my lash line. I applied the yellow in the inner corner, and then I blended the yellow below that green just to blend everything out. It wasn't my initial plan, but once I did it, I really liked it. Next, I'm using Sephora Collection Precision Eyeliner to line my eyes. It is very black, it stays in place, and it dries down very matte. If you're dark skinned and you have oily eyelids, you know that this is going to stay in place. We're using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara today because I couldn't find my Dibs mascara. I'm using the red Sephora Collection eyeliner in my waterline. I should have intensified it, but it was perfectly fine because it wasn't black. Juvia's Place Volume 3 Blush Duo, and it is so buttery soft. Look how beautiful. The color payoff is. It is really stunning. Because I had to push my hair out of the way to do my makeup, I need to go ahead and rehydrate my afro so that I can shape it again into like a bang type of a look. Now, I absolutely have to spray because if I don't spray with water, it's not going to stay down. Because I wanted to have that more festival look, I went in with some clear lash glue and I applied some AB rhinestones over it just to give it a more festive kind of a look. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it's really cute and I really like the kind of shimmer and festival feel that it brought to the eye look. I am also going in with some very small lashes, which now I actually wish I had used bigger lashes, okay? I'm applying my Pat McGrath, or is this the Juvia's? I think this is the Juvia's Place, the darkest lip liner from Juvia's Place. I'm putting that all over my lips, and for the actual lip color, I didn't want to go in with the lip color, so I went in with the Sephora Collection lip gloss just to keep everything kind of light, fresh, and almost like on a neutral kind of a look. I really like it. For the glitter in the hair, I'm using the Patrick Star glitter spray, and we're going to go ahead and set the whole face. I've been getting a lot of questions about the glitter in the hair. The truth is the glitter in the hair is really not that bad. It falls off very easily once it dries down. Once you shake your hair, the whole thing falls out. You don't have to do anything extra. It will just come out. And whenever you wash your hair, the rest of it will come out of it, okay? But this is it for me showing you a quick Zara Larsson inspired makeup look. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. Will you try this look? And would you actually wear it out? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Get out the way. Who got